Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Atlanta Falcons Week 12 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And since it's a weekly collection, there's always going to be some variation between various data points. However, there's always going to be little nuggets of truth that could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you're new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So, starting with this matchup between the Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. When you look at the NFL stat basic comparison data, and basic comparison data essentially is looking at how the offense is doing, how the defense is doing, and of course how the special teams as a unit is doing. And based on this information, the overall information, the Falcons are favored in this game. So let's get into some reasons why. First off, offensively speaking, the Falcons are better when it comes to turnover ratio, sack allowance, and offensive score percentage. Those are big key statistics when it comes to offense. All those factors, very important when it comes to winning football games, and the Falcons just beat the Bucs in all of them. The only area where it's actually fairly close is sack allowance. Then, of course, when you get to the defensive side of things, the Bucs have the better defense when it comes to defensive offensive score percentage. Turnover ratio more so favors the Bucs. Sack percentage favors the Falcons, and interception ratio favors the Bucs. So the Bucs actually technically have the better defense. I know I've been getting a lot of stuff from people quoting ESPN or some other statistic talking about the Falcons' defense. I'm talking about defensive offensive score percentage, as I put into the references in the description. So defensive offensive score percentage is essentially the defense's ability to prevent points from happening on every drive. You know, if the defense is giving up points on every drive or giving up points more than other teams, then that's not the best defense. So that's how this judges defense. And the defenses that are good in that perspective since 1998 typically win more football games. So again, I'm not trying to diss anybody for quoting ESPN or something else like that, but understand that I'm evaluating these teams based on these statistics. So again, understand that I'm not trying to diss anybody or diss ESPN statistics or DVOA or whatever, but I've taken my statistics that I'm using and looked to see what matters to winning football games. Defenses that typically score higher in defensive offensive score percentage in terms of preventing points typically win more football games. So whatever funny statistic that the mainstream media might give you, most of the time it isn't vetted. Most of the time it's just a statistic just to be a statistic. So there's no rhyme and reason for it. It's just, hey, we want to give you value, so we're going to say that your team has this value without actually proving to you that the value actually matters. So that's the only thing I would say is keep in mind that the terms, the things that I'm using to evaluate are things that are based on historical data, the things that matter to winning football games. You know, these statistics I'm showing you right here are the things that have correlated more to winning football games, especially offensive score percentage, especially defensive score percentage. Those are the two big ones. I don't even have to show you these other statistics if I really wanted to, but I do because I want to give you guys sort of a perspective, like get into the head potentially of a game planner. You know, if you're planning to game plan this game, you want to know what this team does well, what this team doesn't do well, and then of course get into the film and figure that other stuff out if you have the resources to do that. So I don't have the resources to do that currently, but that's essentially what we're doing here. So just keep in mind that. So again, defensively speaking, the Bucs technically have the better defense when it comes to preventing points on every single drive. That's something that the Falcons have struggled with this year. And it's not to say the Falcons don't do some things well. I already mentioned some of the things they do well. But it's just the Bucs are a little bit better because of that particular area. Now, when you get to special teams data, the Buccaneers are favored in punt return yardage, kick return yardage, defensive punt return yardage, defensive kick return yardage, field goal percentage more so goes to the Falcons, extra point percentage goes to the Falcons, and punting average goes to the Falcons. I would give the special teams to the Falcons because field goal percentage is the highest correlative statistic on special teams. It just makes sense. Oftentimes games are decided by field goals. The Bucs have lost games because of field goals. So ultimately I would give the special teams to the Falcons because of that field goal kind of perspective. And again, based on the overall data, the Falcons are favored in this game. Now, when we move from the macro data to the micro data, so the micro data is the down and distance data. And when you look at this particular area, you're looking at the Falcons offense versus Bucs defense when it comes to completion percentage. And in this particular area, the Falcons are favored on first, second, and third down, respectively. Then, of course, we get to the Bucs offense versus Falcons defense, where the Falcons are favored on second and third down. Then we get to rushing down, so the ability to create first downs with the run or prevent first downs with the run. And in this area, I actually would say it's pretty even. The Falcons will have the advantage on second down. Third down more so goes to the Bucs, but pretty dang close between those two teams. And then on first down, fairly even. Then we get to rushing downs for the Bucs offense versus Falcons defense. In this particular area, the Bucs are favored on first, second, and third down. Then we get to passing downs. Falcons offense versus Bucs defense, where the Falcons are favored on first and third down. Then we get to the Bucs offense versus Falcons defense, where the Bucs are favored on first and second down. Then we get to sack rate between the Falcons offense and the Bucs defense. The Bucs just do not create a lot of sacks. So I would say the Falcons should not have much of an issue preventing the Bucs from creating sacks, creating havoc in the backfield. Then, of course, we get to the Bucs offense versus Falcons defense, where the Falcons will have the ability potentially of getting some sacks on second and third down. Then we get to interception ratio between the Falcons offense and the Bucs defense, where the Bucs are favored on first and third down. And then finally, we get to the Bucs offense versus the Falcons defense, where the Bucs are favored on first and third down, respectively. So overall impressions of this football game, I think it's a Falcons victory. I think offensively speaking, that's going to be the major factor in this game. I think the Falcons defense should have some success getting a sack here and there. That could be a major tide opener. And on top of that, even if it is a close game, even if it is kind of a down-to-the-wire type of football game, I think the Falcons will still be able to pull it out because of that field goal percentage, just to kind of put a bow on it, essentially. So overall, I think it's a Falcons victory. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.